plays much more than Easy Hoon. Easy Hoon plays like 6 champions brilliantly.
Yes.
GA plays 25 champions pretty good.
Certainly does. And I think that it's all going to come down to this. We are into champion select, and a lot about this series is going to be in the draft. Because honestly, this is where WE gets to throw that monkey wrench and make sure that their flexibility is going to be able to be used to the fullest, as we are going to see the Alistair and Ryze bands coming out. Easy Hoon not going to be getting on that comfort champion of his, and Ezreal is here the answer.
And of course, being an LGD apologist, Atlas, I do have to throw this caveat in here.
Thank you. Yep.
You know, we got the champion select. I wasn't on camera whilst I was doing it, but I feel like Vici, that game they got from being the higher seed and picking up first game, kind of forced LGD on the back foot, and they went back into Worlds mode, where they just picked comfort time and time again.
True.
And it worked out with them one game, but not the next. A lot of Kassadin pickups in the mid lane. I feel like WE are not that kind of team. If they get beaten in one style, they're going to play a different style the next game and make you beat them in a different way. So I'm interested to see how Vici's coaching staff has prepared them for this best of 5.
Yeah, and of course, starting off on even footing here as well means that things are going to be a little bit better, as Condi looking to try and grab his Kindred as option 1. Graves was banned away, so no 24th game to come in this time for Dandy.
But potentially Nidalee, and Dandy is a pretty good Nidalee player.
It certainly is. Of course, second highest play rate there is 6 on the champion, but was always known to be a fantastic Nidalee
It was
player.
really last split, if you cast your mind back, where Nidalee first came into the jungle role. Like the Korean junglers, really. Like Kakao, Dandy, Swift picked it up very quickly. MLXG, of course, is also a very good Nidalee player and is Chinese, so I'll throw him in there for good measure.
Clearlove, not bad either.
I like Clearlove's Kindred. Like, he can play Nidalee, definitely, but I like him on his like weird picks.
Yeah, Evelyn Sejuani, give him those ones.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant, though, for this game, as Lissandra and the Braum are going to be locked in here for Vici. Freljord, welcome to the Rift.
But
we are going to go back to WE.
Easy Hoon's champion pool, you do have to prioritize it, because they have picked on it one more time in the draft. You know, they ban away Azir on Vici's side. Ryze also gone. Doesn't go for Lulu, but I feel like Lissandra is much more flexible for Team WE, just because they do play it in the top lane as well as the mid lane. So I like the fact that they've secured it so early on for Vici.
Yeah, the double denial pick here as well, because of course 957 is his most played champion towards the top side of the map. GA no stranger to the Lissandra either, but it is going to be the Echo picked up here for 957 by the looks of things, as Condi's going to take the Lucian.
So you would think
for
that.
Mystic. Yeah, Condi's not necessarily the Echo guy though, is he? Or is GA? Okay, that's a good point. GA could play it.
So we've seen so many iterations of Echo at the moment. We've seen top lane tank Echo. Flandre's played a top lane carry Echo game last split, but still around, right? We've seen mid lane AP Echo out of Wayless 2 weeks ago. We've seen mid lane tank Echo out of Rookie this week. We've also seen Jungle Echo with Cinderhulk. We've seen Jungle Echo with Runic Echoes. We have seen so many variations of Echo in the LPL. I do expect it to be in the top lane. I'm just saying, don't count chickens.
Yeah, no, I'm not really a chicken counter either. I never really get that one right. But it is going to be the Nidalee locked in here for Dandy. So back onto a carry. See whether we can farm this one out of GA. Thinking about picking up the Twisted Fate as Zero heads back to his Trundle. You did mention that before. It's looking like a lot of CC, actually, from WE and a lot of teamfight control.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've got good initiation out of the Twist of Fate, but then so much non-committal CC, like the slow that's going to come out of Trundle, the control that Kindred brings to a teamfight. Not to mention the fact that we talk about Venn diagrams a lot. So if Kindred throws down the big ultimate, you know, Echo's able to get the parallel convergence down and stun people up inside it, really make himself a nuisance on the back end of these teamfights. His follow-up engage is so good. And Karma, that's even more non-committal CC right now. The makings of almost a poke kite back comp out of Team WE here.
And that's another champion for GA by the looks of things.
I also think the Karma, by the way, is ridiculous on the current patch. Inner Flame just does work, and
people that know to mantra Inner Flame, they're the ones. They're the ones you got to watch out for, because that is ridiculous. That gives you so much lane sustain. Just stupid. But another string to add to GA's bow, if he is indeed going to be playing it. Of course, 957 known as a bit of a mage player as well.
So this would make sense in Sivir, because you think, Ashara, all right, just pick one target, blow it up. You have a look. Who do you actually blow up on this lineup? Unless you get the Lucian, who's still going to get Kindred ulted, and the shield's just going to be ridiculous out of the Karma, you do need the sustained team fight. So what they're looking for is good flanks out of Easy Hoon and Long, but then the continued speed that Sivir's on the hunt is going to provide to be able to chase down what is a very elusive Team WE lineup.
I love it in a response to Karma as well.
Yeah.
The fact that the Mantra E for the extra speed boost, it feels like a poor man's on the hunt anyway.
But it gives you so much shield. Like, Karma at the moment just brings ridiculous amounts. She's almost impossible to gain. Like, Mantra Inner Flame, like, just because of how it works in the 2v1 situation, you know, gives you the double heal, Atlas.
It
the
does.
Initial one after a couple of seconds as well. You can't turret dive her. Bonkers.
And if you nail the slow on the Q as well, I mean, they have to either flash, use a dash ability. I mean, Easyhoon does have that claw that he can get out with, but could be very dangerous here for Vici, and she's a lane bully. So Easyhoon not going to be able to play his normal style where he just sits back and farms.
Certainly isn't a great shover, so we'll be able to continue to push up waves, rotate around the map. Both mid laners have teleport. This should be a really interesting game, and we've already seen conflict in style.
Exactly. And this is what it's all going to come down to. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get onto the riff for our first quarterfinal. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the riff for our first quarterfinal of this split of the LPL. WE now going to be starting on our blue side of the map and have mixed things up. So much mobility out of the squad right now.
Yeah, it certainly does. But I honestly, like, this is kind of a WE comp. Sure, we haven't seen the Karma before, but Trundle, Echo, Kindred, something we're very used to seeing out of the lineup. And it's just that non-commitment. They don't actually ever have to engage into a fight. Sure, if they catch someone off, they do have very good follow-up CC and a lot of chase potential, but they don't actually have to fly in at any point.
Well, we'll see whether it is going to be Vici attempting to start off these fights. They do have the ability to get in there and start something, as Easyhoon does, of course, have that Glacial Path on the hunt, also very helpful, and we'll see whether Lung can get the flanks on this Poppy.
So one thing to watch for is how quickly Dandy will jungle on this Nidalee. Nidalee, of course, no longer roots the jungle camps with her abilities, but we gave her some extra damage on Pounce. You were correct, sir. Surprised actually not starting at the Raptor camp. You can go Raptor or Red buff and clear Raptors in like a couple of Pounces. Get the resets off them dying and off your traps. Ridiculous for a first camp. You don't have to use Smart on it either, but we'll start top side. Makes sense with a little bit of a leash out along.
A little bit of help from his friends. His minions are going to clash here in the mid lane as well.
I would have had it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids. That's all it reminds me of when you say friends.
I just think of the Beatles. Showing my age, man.
I have no Beatle references at all.
Really?
None.
All
I know is he's not even the best jungler on the band.
That's because I've said that line way too many times. This Condi is going to poke his head in, looking like could be a possible invade.
He's going to find him.
Very low, and is just going to concede that red buff by the looks.
So I always talk about with Nidalee, right? You can choose two things. You can jungle quickly or you can jungle healthily, but you can never do both. The reason is you can spend a lot of time in Cougar form and just fly through the jungle with cool auto attack resets. Or you can spend a lot of time in human form, kiting things around, making sure you get heal second the likes. Dandy, he's going with a quick clear.
He most certainly is, and has quickly moved over to the enemy red buff. Not going to get 3 buffs.
Just heads up pathing. That's fantastic out of Dandy, actually, to recognize, I'm a quicker jungler than Kindred. So I'm going to move down to the bottom side of the map. We'll give Kindred first camp, marked camp of the game in that Scuttle Crab. Gets a little bit of RNG luck there. But Dandy's coming in mid lane.
Yeah, there it is. Circle does come out as well as Dandy gets the Pounce. Massive damage as the flash comes out, but the follow-up flash and first blood to Dandy.
Yeah, and this is what we talk about time and time again. The guy is just so good at recognizing where on the map his team needs him. Gets one buff from the other side of the jungle, goes mid lane. Easyhoon sets up with some nice CC. And of course, Nidalee provides all the damage you need at the start of the game.
Yeah, and the Circle of Frost timing, fantastic there from Easyhoon, as GA does have to use his teleport to get back to the lane. Means he doesn't miss out on too much here as well, which is good news. But Karma feels like a champion that if you fall behind on, you're not going to have that power.
Nah, don't agree.
Don't?
Nah,
She's
you can play her as support. She literally needs no items. Like, that is Like, it's like proofs in the pudding. If you can play a champion as support, means they're not item dependent at all. Has some of the highest base values in the game. And, you know, one gank, not going to get her behind all that much, especially because it was Dandy that picked up the kill. So it's about repeat performances now from Dandy, or where he can snowball the lead somewhere else on the map. Because Easy Hoon, honestly, it's nice for him, but it's not going to win in the lane.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if you're talking about champions that don't necessarily need all that much gold, Easy Hoon on the Lissandra also going to be one of those, although the Zhonya's Hourglass going to be relatively necessary as he moves forward.
Yeah, as the game goes on, Lissandra, she kind of has this mid-game spike where she's a lot about control. Lissandra's always one of the champions, kind of like Rumble. Like, you have the control without items, right? That's why you can play in a lane swap meta as a top laner. But if you do get items, you just do way more damage with it.
Yeah, and cooldown reduction being so important there as well. As we are seeing the bottom lane butting heads a little bit. Endless deciding to hold on to the spell shield. He figures he doesn't need it. You can see Vici actually pushing in quite effectively there towards the bottom side. GA with the extra Doran's ring, feeling a little bit more comfortable, but has been answered here by Easy Hoon as well.
Yeah, so you can see that the advantage gets Easy Hoon nothing so far, but he has got a pretty big CS advantage. We'll also take out that pink ward. That's very good heads-up play out of Easy Hoon. Sets up the clear path around Summoner's Rift. You can see that he's allowed Dandy to have that freedom to be able to once again visit the lane. Oh, Condi, yes. You're in some trouble.
Spear's going to come through as Easy Hoon locks him up. Condi in trouble right now, but he is able to get up. No, Easy Hoon with the longest auto attack in history is able to pick up the second kill for Vici.
Yeah, so once again, just really nice play out of Easy Hoon and Dandy, and this is what we expect out of the two Koreans. They're just on the same page. That was really nice vision denial out of Easy Hoon, but he also set up the vision on the other side as we have another scuffle in the bottom lane.
Yeah, a little bit. As Mystic actually able to get a lot of damage back.
Fervor of battle.
Yeah, not bad.
Thank you very much.
957 though, actually in trouble here a little bit. The stun not going to come through, and Dandy not committing, but he's going to eventually find the pink ward that he was standing on top of.
It was the pink ward the whole time. I've really got to get that show out of my head now. As you can see, maybe a turret dive coming through here.
Oh, Spear is actually going to land as Dandy looking for the execute.
He is playing like a man possessed right now.
Certainly is. There's the pounce, but he uses the ultimate. Massive damage. Lung is going to get taken out, and now Dandy has to escape. Easy Hoon turns up, is able to pick it up with the ultimate, but it's a 1-for-1.
957 goes absolutely massive in the exchange. Easy Hoon once again getting out of his lane. We say this all the time. When he is roaming around the map, helping out his top laner, he's at his best. But 957 gets level 6. Dodges out of the pounce, gets the stun and massive damage down onto Lung. Wasn't able to take out Dandy on the back end because of Easy Hoon's fantastic roam. And that's why you got to get out of mid lane and help your top laner. That would have been a 1-for-0 trade if Easy Hoon wasn't there, and he's able to equalize.
Yeah, and he also still has that CS advantage there in the mid lane. Abyssal Scepter almost done. Easy Hoon continuing with the fantastic form that he showed us in his first game of the playoffs. We'll see whether he is going to be able to continue doing it. 100% kill participation at the moment now as Dandy going to take a Rift Scuttler for himself and deny the mark away from Condi.
And you can see that right now, Condi's jungle just does not belong to him. Dandy has been continually aggressive. He's going to once again face check into the Nidalee potentially. Needs to just play towards his bottom side of the map because honestly, that's the last area that really has an advantage. And they're going to try and dive top lane one more time.
We've got almost exclusive vision up here as well. One ward waiting in the river there for 957, but that's about it. It's WE having to deal with this massive minion wave. Vici just owning the map right now. It just looks like they have so much more room to move.
Yeah, it certainly does, especially mid and top, right? The good ganks out of Dandy means that that side of the map is ahead. This is the side of the map we expect Vici to play towards because they just do have superior players in the area. But you can see slight advantage in the bottom duo lane for Mystic and Zero. That's also what you expect out of WE with a much more veteran bottom lane. Because once again, 957 is still trying to put pressure there, but Dandy is just doing a great job of controlling the top side of the map.
You can see Lung happy to play so far up as well as he just pegs a buckler at 957. Nice damage out of that Q. Dandy and Easy Hoon, they're thinking, well, let's take ourselves a Rift Herald.
Yep, so first neutral objective of the game, going to go over. And you can see that Dandy, even though that he's spending a lot of time in the river, not really missing out on all that much because he is a Nidalee and jungles incredibly quickly. Condi, on the other hand, has pretty much just exclusively been farming jungle camps right now.
Yeah, he's able to stay even with the rampaging Nidalee. Definitely good news. And what do you think about the Skirmisher Saber that's been picked up here by Dandy?
That just makes sense, right? He's aggressive so early in the game. The true damage is going to mean a lot in these ganks coming out. So you expect, you understand why he's going for it. Obviously, vision control is key, but EasyHoon's been helping out a lot with that. With the couple of kills he got, he put down a couple of extra wards there. So I like the fact that he's willing to play aggressive, and this is what they need out of their jungler. He needs to be one of the carries on their team because they don't get that consistency out of their AD carry. Sure, there are some games where Endless goes absolutely monster, but Danny needs to be that consistent factor.
He most certainly does, and of course is consistently aggressive here as well. Often plays these champions that get a lot of gold, can then translate that gold into victories. And we talk about his Graves a lot. I mean, 23 games, it's something that we definitely need to mention. On the Nidalee, can he have the same effect as the game moves on if he gets all of this money?
Kind of depends what build he goes for, right? If he wants to be more of a poke-heavy style, do we see something like the Rod of Ages into Deathcap Void stuff or something like that? Or does he go for more of a Bruiser style with Roller Abyssal into a Lichbane or something? I would like to see him go more of a Bruiser build and see if he can continue to assassinate people on the back line of these team fights. But the choice is really his. It depends how he wants to play. And with so much disengage, I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a poke build coming out of the Nidalee.
Yeah.
Because it does mean like there's very little sustain on the side of the WE lineup. So if able to chunk one person out, it just means it even harder to execute that team composition.
Yeah, exactly right. And look, things haven't necessarily been going all that well for WE so far, but I mean, with the team comp that they have, and with the fact that 957 had that fantastic outplay towards the top side, managing to go even in that trade, do you think that things are still going about fine here for WE, or can Vici actually manage to snowball this?
Yeah, look, Vici have the recipe right now to be able to snowball. They've got a very fed jungler, very fed mid laner. So wherever they want to take those 2 power points, they can translate that into the bottom lane, into the top lane, and get another area of the map rolling. So I do think that they have a win condition now very clearly defined in EasyHoon's Lissandra, especially because Lissandra just dives so well and locks down key targets. However, in saying that, WE, no stranger to falling behind in the early game. They're probably confident that by 40 minutes the game will be even again and that they can go from there. So honestly, I don't think that they're in panic mode yet, but they would definitely be aware that right now this is a fantastic early game for Vici.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And are WE now going to be looking towards that bottom lane? Do we think that we need to get Condi in there, mix things up, make sure that they can get Zero and Mystic into a position where they can get the work done?
I think Condi just needs to hide for a little bit, honestly. When you fall behind as a jungler, especially if you're Kindred, just really easy to farm up the lanes. Get yourself a Hex Drinker. As soon as you have jungle item boots to Hex Drinker, you're probably right as rain to start fighting again because it's going to be 2 magic users that are ahead or in the Nidalee in the Lissandra. So I don't think they're stressing. I think that they're very cognizant of the fact they're behind and they have to play around that fact. But there are ways for their composition to just continue to push out waves and farm up.
Yeah, and it's probably them just trying to make themselves comfortable as well as we hop back into the game because WE, no strangers to being behind, especially in the early game. A lot of the time, it can go relatively disastrously.
Yeah, as EasyHoon actually moving over to check this buff. Great ward actually placed there. Not taking any risks. Keeps himself on the top end of it. So they will be able to double buff Condi here, although it looks like he still wants the invade. Taking a quick peek in with Zero.
Does have the Lamb's Respite there. Subjugate available for Zero as well as he throws down a traffic cone. Dandy just going to be taking away the puppies, and it looks like WE looked at the dragon for a moment.
No, they're just running through the back end of the pit. They want to get onto as much farm as possible. I don't think they really want to do dragon. As I said, Dandy and EasyHoon are much stronger than their counterparts right now. So they need to be respected. But it's only like, what, 17, 1800 gold the lead right now?
Yeah.
So, you know, substantial gold lead at 10 minutes, sure. Insurmountable, definitely not. So they still have to play fairly carefully. I mean, if HYG M3 showed us anything, it's that you just can't take early gold leads for granted on the current patch because death timers catch up quicker than anything else.
That's a very good point. Well, you can see Dandy and EasyHoon moving up towards the top side. Exclusive vision here, and a lot of very deep vision as well for Vici as Condi just can't even get towards his Gromp camp right now. Dandy just has that one on lockdown, and you can see 957, lots of respect given, is actually just going to go straight back to base. 10 CS behind now, but just doesn't want to die.
Yeah, so it goes back, picks up some more tank stats. He's going to teleport back top lane, you would imagine. Actually, he just uses the ultimate, so he doesn't even have to burn the teleport. Can still use that in a team fight. And you can see that this is, you know, it's starting to trickle over into other lanes. 957 is now falling behind because of the pressure that was put on mid lane. Mid lane's still definitely behind. So as I said, don't get me wrong, Vici in a huge position of power, but WE have got a comp that can stall out for a very long time.
Well, we'll see whether they can do just that, because I actually do like the adaptation here from 957, going towards the tanky stats first, understands that he's falling a little bit behind, wants to make sure that he has the extra armor, has the ability to deal with Long.
So I was talking about this a lot the other day. I do think that this is part of the laning phase where Poppy does win against Echo, because Echo has health regen off the Spectre's Cowl, whereas Glacial Shroud really doesn't give you that stat. So in these top lane fights where you are continually trading, Poppy gets a little bit more health back. That just allows her to continually skirmish a little bit more effectively, always puts the Echo in kill range, whereas the Poppy's relatively safe from ganks still. So we'll see if that continues to be true. As you can see, Dandy, his full boots upgrade over Condi right now, so much stronger.
1,100 gold worth of items there already picked up. Vici, very good at shoving out this wave and then making their presence known elsewhere on the map. Sivir, of course, known to be able to do that, but falling behind just a little bit, like you said, on that farm. Mystic doing very well, getting as much as he can, but unless you can see, not struggling too much. Stand behind me, going to get Caveman to safety here as the traffic cone went out.
So honestly, they have started to struggle a little bit. 10 CS isn't like anything to scoff at. You can see that Mystic and Zero are more than happy to play up in this bottom lane, especially with how strong Dandy is. But once again, if they're not able to translate that anywhere, it's not going to really mean much. As potential turret dive visited in the mid lane, but she's just going to continue to respect their strength. As I said, they're just hiding right now and trying to get as much gold as possible. In fact, sieging down this turret.
Yeah, Condi actually making his way in. Does have the Lamb's Respite right now. Zero getting taken down very, very low. Subjugate comes out. Somehow wasn't hit by the Glacial Fissure, which is a huge deal. Couple of ultimates, not too many summoner spells though, as Vici didn't use anything underneath that turret, and that's double flashes out of WE.
Yeah, it was double ultimates versus double summoner spells and an ultimate on the side of WE, and another dive in this top lane.
The Best Friends Club coming to pay some attention here to 957.
He's in trouble.
He is. Does have the ultimate available. Parallel Convergence is there, but he's just going to die. Doesn't have the opportunity to use anything, and the teleport came out, but nothing happened.
Yeah, no response there for Xie. It was a little bit too late. That was a telegraph dive one more time. And you have to wonder now, 957 is just getting pressured and bullied out of this lane because Xie cannot control Easy Hoon. Didn't burn the ultimate early enough either.
And I actually really like it. I mean, moving into the top lane, making sure that their primary engage tool and split push is going to be ahead. Vici playing with a mindset of looking like they have a plan moving into the rest of this game.
The other thing I like about it is we've already talked about it. It's just difficult to dive a Karma.
Yeah, good point.
So if you can send an additional member up top, especially one that has such fantastic lockdown CC as the list, into Echo's lane, who has only gone armor right now against what is two magic dealers, it's just going to mean good news for you.
And it has spelt Easy Hoon's Abyssal Scepter there as well, as 957 does have a ward, isn't able to pick up the blue buff. Another steal going in favor of Easy Hoon. Frost Queen's Claim, though, going to give Xie a little bit of that mana back. And isn't going to find the Mantrid Q. Really sad stuff.
And they have extended the gold lead here to about 3,000 for Vici. You can see 20 CS in the jungle and in the mid lane. Pretty big deal in that regard. Also 4 kills to only 1. So consistently winning across the map.
Mystic, though,
bottom
still
lane,
further ahead.
Yeah, continuing to extend that lead. And we will see whether they're able to pressure it all, or whether it's about time that Danny, just sticks his head down there, make sure they're still kicking.
He is known to do that. Here's the teleport. Speaking of which, the double actually comes in as Easy Hoon will be able to help destroy Mystic. And Zero now not long for the world. Dandy pays a visit as well. That is 5 people in the bottom lane. They might be able to grab the turret.
We talk about this all the time. The one lane that looks like it is going to eventually fall behind. Bottom lane, what do? Get everyone down there. Make sure that Caveman and Endless can continue that push. Fantastic move out of Vici. Now well and truly ahead in this game. And they will grab the first turret for themselves as well.
Yeah, turret in the bottom lane is going to go down. Traded for the Rift Herald, though, so WE understanding which things that they can grab from around the map, despite the fact that they did lose out in that trade.
Yeah, slightly uneven.
Two
kills,
two
turret
kills and a turret.
Versus Rift Herald.
I don't know. Harold's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, so, you know, you feel bad when you kill him in that case.
Good point. Easy Hoon, though, just clears out this minion wave, and we'll see where he does go from here. GA going to answer very easily, but Dandy waiting in the wings, not going to be able to get onto the Karma this time around. Zero pokes a ward in, and they discover the kitty cat.
Yeah, certainly do. He's kind of lucky he didn't face check there. Dandy probably would have just taken him out. But as you can see, it's just WE. They're going to continue to farm up. And as I said, they're no strangers to this. They are pretty far behind now. Now it's panic stations. They will actually start worrying about this lead. It is quite substantial. But you can see that they're still just trying to jockey for position as best as they can, although that's bad.
Yeah, there's a flash ultimate coming in. Easy Hoon able to pick it up. Claw of Doom just going to be used to get his way out. And the traffic cone more just saying, please don't come in, as opposed to, you're not leaving.
And they just have every play in the book right now, Vici.
Yeah.
They're diving top lane, bottom lane. All right, it's mid lane shot now. They're completely running rings around this WE lineup. They take down another turret uncontested because 957 did teleport to that mid lane once again a little bit late. And honestly, Easy Hoon and Dandy are smashing this map wide open.
And this is what we saw out of the team against LGD as well. I mean, that was an upset win in a lot of our books.
I think every book. I don't think anyone watched. Like, LGD had won, I think, 7 best-of-3s straight.
They had.
And we're once again looking in top form. I think that Vici going to that matchup prepared incredibly well for the draft that was going to come out of LGD, especially if they did pick up that game 1. And they were able to do so. Condi potentially looking for a gank here, although gets pinged back. And WE just have no answers.
Long is just so big right now as well. Lots of components, but a lot of extra damage now as Condi does have the Lamb's Respite. Danny's going to pounce over. Caveman slowed down, but is going to be okay for now as Condi got smacked into the air, not going to die just yet. As the poke is coming in from WE, they have to send everybody to help out.
Yeah, so in the end, they are able to survive, but some flashing health bars, as well as Dandy just being a nuisance, honestly, right now.
It certainly is. Spears flying through. Unable to break the mid lane outer turret at the moment. Vici just wanted to go back. That's a full Zonya's Hourglass for Easy Hoon, so he's well and truly online. That 2-item power spike that we talk about for Lissandra, well and truly there. And Dandy almost has the Rod of Ages. Not even 18 minutes yet. Only needs 700 gold. And this is a kitty cat that's in a completely ridiculous position.
Yeah, honestly, their whole team is just so far accelerated right now. You can see that even though 20 CS behind, Endless just has pretty much his Zeal advantage as well as Boots too.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of the neutral structures.
Not to mention the extra kill. Just a little bit scary here as the Sivir is going to start pushing towards the top side. Vici switching up the lanes a little bit as they're going to try and defend the bottom lane with Long. And I'd say that could potentially be pretty successful.
And I'd say the last thing they really do have left is the anti-dive potential of their team composition. Very hard to dive Echo as well as Karma, especially if they're together. Although Vici have kind of made that look easy all game, so maybe not that difficult. But grasping at straws here, I would say that might be one thing that they can call towards.
Potentially, of course, WE never really come into their own until about halfway through the mid-game. But they've got hard mode activated this time around. And Long... Whoa! If only that was so targeted that he follows them back to base.
Yeah, he would have died. Why do you want that?
Because it'd be the longest heroic charge ever. I mean,
that would be truly heroic.
Exactly. Exactly. Basically a knight. Needed to be Battle Regalia skin, I think, if he was going to do that. I think that's the interaction that I'm missing.
That's one of the worst skins.
Look, I liked it on Old Poppy.
Silly red armor Poppy.
No. That's a different one.
Oh, which one?
Battle Regalia is like the silvery gold one.
Oh, no, actually, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
It's no blacksmith.
I liked Old Lollipoppy. That was good.
Pastry is a huge fan of New Lollipop because of the chocolate bar.
Yeah, the chocolate bar's good.
It's not quite pastry time, but chocolate bar time is probably the closest we're going to get in League of Legends.
No. Sinful Succulence Morgana. Definitely the pastry time skin. Don't you worry.
I like, what's the goth one? Like the real emo one.
I thought that was Blacksmith.
No, the Blacksmith's the one where she looks like a little bit grubby.
Oh, yeah.
The one where she's like got full doll makeup on. That's the best.
Yeah, I don't even remember. That's an old one.
Yeah, she has some great skins.
It's got a lot of skins for a champion that was barely played for a very long time.
Hey! Not true.
Apart from you.
Yeah.
And I remember that. It was actually a lot of fun. Death by a Grass Poppy. Not bad. Would recommend everyone if you're going to go back in time and play on an old patch.
But right now, we have WE actually quite successfully trading objectives here. It looks like they are going to try and collapse on the top lane.
Long actually pushing away from his turret a little bit, but not too far. As Condi is going to go back to
Condi
base.
went back. So now they need to be careful. Actually give up a mid lane in response. So in the end, not good jockeying for position.
Wouldn't exactly call it the best trade.
I'm trying to grasp at straws here, WE. You really aren't helping me out. They have one thing left. The 40-minute game, Atlas.
Exactly.
So buckle in.
Baron defense.
19 minutes left.
We're expecting a long series. I would want nothing less out of you, WE.
Vici honestly are making it look quite easy right now. So credit to them. As we said, they look just incredible, like so well prepared.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a team that has been very good in these gauntlet situations in the playoffs in the past. Of course, didn't quite make it last time around in the LPL, but did give it a good honest shot, if you remember, with a team that wasn't quite as in form as they have been of late. Definitely looking good for the side right now as Rod of Ages is done for Dandy.
In saying that, you know, apart from Dandy being a little bit ahead, most other people sitting on pretty comparable items right now.
Yeah.
What? Mystic, you're in trouble.
Yeah, Lung going for the 2v2 as Endless makes his way over as well. Mystic is so dead as Zero has to flash out of the way. The Ricochet really starting to do some work.
2 teleports were available, neither burnt right now. 957 just hanging out by himself in the top lane. Has decided that that teamfight is not what he's about. Now burns a teleport.
Yeah, trying to defend this inhibitor turret. Definitely a worthwhile thing to try and avoid losing, as it is going to be the Mantrid Q coming out, clearing out the minion wave completely here from GA. So don't lose the turret. Easy here, though, is going to make his way back into the jungle. They're not going to break open the base just yet.
So it's another kill and another turret picked up for Vici. It's now 4-1 in those objectives. 8-1 in kills, and about 8,000 gold to gold lead, which is huge.
Massive, especially for 22 minutes into the game.
And you know, I said the old one, not insurmountable. This one, pretty close to.
Yeah, no, it's going from bad to worse, I think, is the storyline here for WE. Best of 5 series, though, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to bear in mind. And Vici, I mean, they went from game 1, when they were facing off against LGD, which was very decisive, able to take them down quite easily. Game number 2. LGD put on their LGD pants and took them down. So Vici, we'll see whether they can continue this level of pressure.
Myron built early distortion boots. I don't know what I mean.
I saw that as well. And I was like, oh, if Jake's correct, we're in for a quickie.
Yep, and we were.
We were. It was also the Maokai effect, and Maokai actually ignored completely in this draft, which is quite interesting. Just different stylistic differences from both of these teams.
Yeah, certainly is. Maokai's kind of a free lane against carries, right? So we always talk about this. Beats them late games a lot of the time, but will give the laning phase at least the ability to farm up, just because he doesn't really have the advantage of being able to bully them out. So don't really want to give 957 an early advantage in that case. So Long picks up Poppy and does the right thing. Starts smacking him with a hammer.
Certainly does, as GA. Trying to trade against Long, but the Karma not quite at the right level just yet. Has himself a needlessly large rod and the Abyssal Scepter, after, of course, the Frost Queen's claim, so not doing too badly.
Look, I don't know if Karma ever beats Poppy in the 1v1. Is Teleport now coming out?
Yeah. So Vici looking for something here as Easy Hoon's going to home guard his way in. They do spot a pink ward, but that is Teleport for nothing. Just trying to find some sort of opening.
And if there is a bright spot on the map right now for WE, it still is Mystic. Mystic is farmed incredibly well.
Yeah.
Has got some items. Easy Hoon's got an outright Void Stuff. He doesn't build components this game. He just goes back and, like, grabs the whole thing.
He did. That's 2 items in a row that he's just grabbed full items. Of course, he had to that time because he doesn't have enough item slots for it and doesn't want to sell Doran's Ring, but my goodness, this guy is so strong. And he's 20 CS ahead of the clock. Like, you give him a comfort champion. We talk about his champion pool not being the hugest, but it doesn't even seem to matter because he's so good on the champions he can play.
Certainly is. And now Baron has been started off. Will be spied out by one of the scrying orbs, but of course no more are available. And you find it's only just going to be a matter of time before they decide to commit to it.
Yeah, pink ward going to be spotted here. 957 going to take that one away. And Long just continuing to be a nuisance.
But one more time, they're just kind of funneling farm into WE right now. I like the Baron call. That will actually do them a lot of good the more they are able to pressure that. But they're not really going to be able to dive anyone. There's now Lung being aggressed on. I don't think that's a good idea. You might give up Baron if you try and kill the Poppy.
Very good point. Is Dandy not going to find the spear just yet? But of course, Poppy able to run pretty fast, especially with that steadfast presence available as well. And Dandy continuing to clear out the vision around this Baron. So 8,000 gold, still the lead. Actually a little bit less now. So WE doing their very best to try and claw back. No sated yet for Condi.
About 300. Oh.
Too easy.
Yeah, that beautiful.
Okay, man, not going to find the pink ward, unfortunately, as of yet. Does pop a ward down, though, and we'll see how Vici managed to actually close this one out, if they can.
The sad thing is, I said, you know, only 19 minutes and counting till they're back in. Well, now it's only 14 minutes and counting, Atlas, so they've taken 5 minutes off that clock. And this is, if they do it again, I am just going to be in utter disbelief. Because this is WE's MO. Like,
yeah.
We will dig up eventually. It's like kind of what they're all about.
They're moles. They like to live underground. That's their thing. Playing from behind.
Training
definitely something they're able to do. WE was, of course, able to grab themselves a dragon as well, so this will only
grab
be number 2
one,
for Vici.
So that knocks that win condition on the head a little bit. Of course, if the game goes super late, it still will be available. As now some aggression.
Whoa, that is so much damage on a 957. He was not expecting that. He's like, I'm a tanky Echo. We got this. Need to build some magic resist first.
Problem with single spell rotations, casters like Lissandro, it's just so telegraphed when the damage is coming, so Echo can kind of just ulti out of it. So you can understand not full committing to that. And he's also gone back and got a blasting one, so, you know, I'm personally disappointed in Easy Hoon right now. I expected the death cap.
No, well, he still can build a death cap.
Yeah, no, he can, but it's not going to be outright. My point.
That's a very good point. Forgot about the whole only building items fully. The Abyssal Scepter was, of course, from components, so he'd messed it up already, let's be honest.
You can see, right now, they have stopped them at the pass. So, where to from here? Long still has a lot of pressure on Xie, but Xie has superior wave clear, so not really all that much coming out of this little skirmish. They haven't gone back to the Baron. Although now it is Azonia's Hourglass picked up for Dandy. So you would suspect that he's a lot more comfortable.
They also have the opportunity of just starting off the Baron and then using Primal Surge to get themselves
Not
healthy
really,
again.
because Long is the only person that can tank it up for them in that manner.
Uh-huh.
So I would agree if they had, like, I don't know.
Some sort of other tank.
Nautilus mid lane. Or, yeah. No, that's all I got. But, yeah, because Dandy's kind of the guy that has to tank it, they have the options of burning through it really quickly or pulling off at it immediately and using the Sivir ulti to catch someone out. They don't really have the advantage of, you know, slowly whittling it away, which is why they're making a cute double teleport play in the bottom lane. They're going to send 2 people down to try and catch out either 957 or Xie. And once they do that, they can both teleport towards Baron and start it up.
Well, we shall see as 957 does use the ultimate there. Easy Hoon, he's going to use his eventually. 957 in trouble, but he gets a nice stun with the parallel convergence and will survive. So the play not actually going to work out as GA makes his way back in.
And that's actually massive on the side because you can see that they used pretty much everything out of Easy Hoon's kit and they weren't able to finish it up. Now they stopped the recalls, and that was their Baron play right there. They wanted to catch out the top laner on the bottom side of the map, kill him, then both teleport and make it a 4v5 over the Baron pit where they could pick up that objective. Instead, once again, WE have just put the brakes on this.
Oh, yeah.
You shall not pass. You know, we're in for the long haul. Mystic's gone back, picked himself up a QSS. Lunan's Echo's been picked up. They're going for very cost-efficient builds right now. And boy, are we in for a long series.
Yeah, let's prepare ourselves to avoid hemorrhaging. WE just going to take it to 50 minutes. Gold will be irrelevant. We'll be fine.
And Vici got their lead, right? They know that they're going to get the 6 items first. We'll just fight them when we get there.
Yeah. Dandy, he's used his Zhonya's Hourglass, though.
I feel like that was supposed to not be a Zhonya's.
Yeah, I feel so, too. Not going to be able to find the blue
Got
buff
the 2
here
Sentinels. Actually really important. 46 gold.
Massive.
Not to be scoffed at. And they once again have started up this Baron buff. As I mentioned, they do it incredibly quickly.
Oh, Mystic waiting in the mid lane.
There we go, they've got it.
He's going to teleport in. They are committing to this Baron right now. Zero's poked his head around, but it's down to about 2,000 health.
Oh,
Condi's going to try and find his way in. It is going to be taken by Dandy, but he tanks a full culling there on the back end. Nice traffic cone to come in, but you can see Easy Hoon's already taken down Zero. Dandy flashes over the wall, baits him in. 957 falls down, and Vici grab a Baron and 2 kills.
And where were Mystic and Condi that whole fight? Nowhere to be seen. Mystic got a culling and then disappeared out yonder. Condi didn't even make it to the fight overall. That's horrible miscommunication from this WE lineup, and now they have to repel the Baron buff.
And a 10,000 gold lead, Vici.
Well, that was already there, right? We knew that was going to come. Let's take another look at this. Teleports comes in from Karma. So she's skirting the outside of the team fight. You can see the culling comes in. It was also an empowered Q. Then they kind of don't commit to the rest of the team fight. And it's all just because Condi wasn't there. So they just give up 2 members, live to fight another day.
Yeah, sort of Condi's probably the guy that you really want there. Known for stealing neutral objectives, but can't do it with a smite that doesn't have an extended range from his own side of the map. So a little bit of a misplay there from the guy that we've been expecting great things of out of WE. See whether Condi can turn it around. Now sated. Going towards what looks like a rapid-fire cannon, but we'll see exactly what he picks up. 957 now trying to defend this inner turret. But look at the ricochet damage out of this freaking Sivir. So much wave clear.
Yeah, it certainly is, but you see the empowered Q out of Karma as well. They've both got it in spades. They will be able to take down another turret. That makes it 12,000 gold to lead.
Oh my
Atlas.
god. And
Death Cap has been picked up from Easy Hoon. You're exactly right.
For 5-item Lissandra.
Right. Maybe
So
a turret
scary.
dive onto Echo in the bottom lane.
Vici just looking to try and grab all that they can right now as Mystic is going to make his way in, defends Echo, bottom side. The inner turret is definitely dead. So much damage out of Vici when they finally make it to a turret with a minion wave. The Baron Up minion's going to continue pushing through. You can see Vici just going to carry this wave. And Lung actually looking for a potential dive. We'll see whether they actually commit to this one as Winter's Bite is going to land. Claw of Doom not going to be followed.
They missed all their ultis.
Yeah, not going to be able to find it here as they do take down the turret. Now Lung is going to get stunned up by that inner fire as Caveman now puts himself in front of it. Easy Hoon, massive circle of frost now as Zero is going to get taken down solo, but Mystic dancing around the fight. Endless trying to grab it, does pick it up. And it's going to be the AD carry falling down. Inhibitor going to follow. And Vici going to break open the base at least. We'll see what they can get in this 4v5.
Yeah, still not done yet. Looking to see if they can finish the game. They still have Baron up creeps. AD carry nowhere to be seen.
Easy Hoon not quite with the ultimate back available just yet as Vici losing their health bars just a bit, but that is going to be a Nexus turret falling down. Condi still with the Lamb's Respite there if he needs it. They are going to have to try and defend. It's just not looking possible.
14,000 gold.
Yeah.
15 actually.
Not over yet, Spawn.
Vici
not over yet.
Absolutely decimating this WE lineup. 33 minutes in. It's been a one-sided affair the whole game.
Yeah.
For some reason, though, you just don't feel like it's over.
No, that's the thing. You can never actually feel that, I don't think. Not with Vici versus WE. WE, you can't count them out. Not at any stage. There's Easy Hoon trying to get out. Zero just saying, okay, well, you can go. Because I have a feeling you'll just turn around and kill me. 5-0-4, though. Easy Hoon, a fantastic performance on the Lissandra. You can understand why they picked it up early rotation. It's been paying dividends thus far. Even Endless, that last team fight, played up very, very well. And a 7,000 gold Baron power play. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Certainly explains the 14,000 gold lead. Yeah, look. I've been saying it the whole game. Uphill battle. Like, what? David and Goliath. Like, throw out any other...
insert cliche here.
Cliche. And WE, I don't know. They've just been, honestly...
absent.
Struggle street the whole game.
Yeah.
It's 1 kill to 11. 8 turrets to 1. Any measurable aspect you could use in this game, Vici are smashing them right now. But you just feel they're one team fight away from pulling it back.
Yeah, always. It's just the WE mindset. They have managed to pick up that bottom inhibitor, which is definitely a good idea. As they might be able to re-kill that just before the Baron. Create some extra pressure.
Easy Hoon has entered this playoffs in such classy form. Dandy's gone for that Bruiser Nidalee build, so he can jump in and assassinate someone, although they go aggressive onto the jungler.
Yeah, there's the on the hunt, though, as the nice traffic cone comes out. Massive damage out of the Karma, though, as Easy Hoon's going to teleport his way in. They're looking to continue this siege, but Dandy and Endless very, very low.
Condi.
So easy to take down that turret right now, as Easy Hoon unable to find too much as he makes his way through with the Claw of Doom. Now WE looking to try and get a last-ditch effort into this fight. 957 has actually started off the party as EasyHoon not in the best position. Finds Xie, locks himself down with the ultimate, and there's the Lamb's Respite. WE trying to find their way back in, but Vici take control of their Lamb's Respite, and EasyHoon is a beast. Dandy grabs a triple kill, looking for more right now as Condi's on his fountain. Nexus turrets are both going to fall down. The Nexus to follow, and what a performance from Vici at the start of this series. Dandy finishing up in the middle of the fountain.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was a golden cat.
He was.
So Vici take game number 1. And, look, it was about 37 minutes, I think. It took them a while.
It's about their average.
We weren't expecting anything quick out of these teams, but dominant play from start to finish. I think it's very fair to say that Vici, behind EasyHoon and Dandy, just completely controlled and managed anything that WE had.
Yeah, and we were talking about sort of the fact that both of these teams have relatively different styles moving into this one, and also different points of power. WE very, very even, whereas top-heavy on the side of Ichi. Just looked like the top-heavy focus worked out so much better here for Vici, and I have a feeling that it's just the snowball effect from that very first game.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. It was how they transitioned their power. Cannot stress this enough. This was when they used 2 teleports into the bottom lane, because the carries out of WE had to teleport back to lane so many times. And they were just able to absolutely decimate them.
This dive.
And we keep talking about it. It should be hard. Trundle, Echo, Karma. That team comp should be so difficult to turret dive. Throw a Kindred in there as well. But they just made it look easy time and time again. And just sloppy play out of WE. Honestly, at the start of that game, put them in an insurmountable hole. And as I said, with WE, you never quite know, like, when they've lost the game. You're like, 8,000 gold, I think it's over. Not going to call it yet, like, because you just don't want to be that caster where you're like, absolutely smashed, 13,000 gold behind. That's game over. WE, like, nah, we still got a good 15 minutes in this one.
You're never confident.
Yeah, never confident. But Vici were honestly all over them that game. They completely smashed them.
And there's also the fact that EasyHoon has just been playing so incredibly well. We mentioned it during the cast, but I just want to reiterate, because this guy has stepped up for the playoffs, and if there's anything, and they've got 2 world champions from back-to-back years here in Dandy and EasyHoon, these guys just know how to play a playoff set.
Yeah, potentially, definitely. Like, best of 5 is something that they're very experienced with. We have mentioned the fact, WE, quite a young team, so that's an area that they should be at a huge advantage here if you are Vici's lineup.
Yeah.
But one more time, I think, I don't even know if it's like, it's not that world-class player, it's not anything of that, it's just understanding where to be on the map. Like, Dandy's always been a cerebral jungler.
Yep.
He acknowledged the fact that he got invaded on the top side, he invades bottom side, ducks past mid lane quickly, picks himself up an easy kill. It was honestly just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and it was a decent setup from WE at the beginning as well, because Condi did make it into the enemy jungle, managed to take away that red buff, but it's the adaptation, like you said. It's the fact that Vici had all of the answers that was their thing. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw to a short break. When we get back, game number 2 between WE and Vici. We'll see whether WE can bite back.